Good day, everyone. My name is Chelsea Tin, and I am your reporter for today. Now, we all know that Brunner is known for his many theories. Now, we move on to his another theory, which is the categorization. Now, Brunner gave much full attention to categorization of information in the construction of internal cognitive maps. He believed that perception, contextualization, learning, decision making, and making reference are all involved in categorization. Now, what is categorization? Now, categorization is a process in which ideas and objects are recognized, differentiated, and understood. It is a way of our brain to recognize information. For example, apples, bananas, and oranges, we categorize them as fruits based on their characteristics. So if that thing have the characteristic of an apple, then it is categorized an apple group. If this thing has the characteristic of an orange, then this thing is belong to the orange group. Now, another thing of categorization is it is a set of rules that specify the the four things of an object. So, what are those four things of an object? We have number one, criteria attributes, required characteristic for inclusion of an object in category. For an example, um, for an object to be included in the car category, that thing must have engine, four wheels, and means of a possible for transportation. Number two, the second rule prescribes how criteria attributes are combined. And number three, the third rule assigns weight to various properties. For example, it could be a car even if the tire was missing. And if it was used for hauling cargo, it should be shifted to different category of truck or perhaps a van. And number four, the fourth rule sets acceptance limits on attributes. Some attributes can vary widely, such as color, others are fixed. Now, there are several kinds of categories, and let us differentiate them. Number one, identify categories. Categories include objects based on their attributes or features. Now, this is the very simplest form of category because it involves identify features. For example, a red apple should be identified category because it involves a features of being red and being an apple. Number two, we have equivalent categories. Equivalent can be determined by affective criteria which render objects equivalent by emotional reaction, functional criteria based on related functions. Now, example for that is car, truck, or van could all be combined in an inclusive called motor or vehicle, or by formal criteria, for example, by science, law, or culture agreement. For example, an apple can be defined as an apple even if it's dried, even if its the color is green. It is a food conjunctional and it is member of historical classification of group. And last, we have the coding system, are categories that serve to recognize sensory input. They are major organization variables in higher cognitive functioning. Going beyond immediate sensory data involves making inferences on the basis of related categories. Categorization is a concept was extensively studied by psychologist Jerome Bruner. According to Brunner, categorization is a cognitive process that allows us to recognize the vast amount of information we encounter in our daily lives. Brunner proposed that we categorize things based on their similarities and differences. And these categories help us to understand and predict the world around us. For example, we might categorize object as food or not food, which help us to quickly and easily decide what we can eat. And lastly, Brunner also suggested that the way we categorize information can be influenced by our culture, experiences, and individual differences. So the same object might be categorized differently by different people in different contexts. So that would be all of my report, and thank you for watching.